Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Ask Uncle Sam About Patriotic Cocktails. Next week is the 4th of July, and that will be the culmination of our nation's 250-year anniversary. That's been a long time, but I expect us to be here for a lot longer. Stay with me as we delve into 4 additional drinks to use to celebrate for this 4th of July. Hello and welcome back. Alan wanted me to provide his audience with 4 more great cocktails to use to celebrate patriotically for the 4th of July. Next week is the 250th anniversary since the forming of this great nation, and we all need to celebrate. And to do so, we can definitely use some great cocktails. We're going to start off the first one with a cucumber cocktail. This one is made in a shaker. We start out by muddling some cucumber slices, and it wants 2. That first one will be set aside because that's the end. So 2 good chunks of cucumber. Having cucumber in your drink definitely is good for you. So you want to try this one. So we'll add the lime juice to the cucumber before we muddle. And the lime juice is 1 ounce. And we'll muddle that up. And the best way to muddle is rocking back and forth. Then we add tequila. And it's 2 ounces of tequila. And this is a pretty good brand of tequila. Not too expensive, but it tastes really good. I'm not advertising for anybody, so I'm not going to mention names, but you can see the bottles. Next, we add cream of coconut. And last week, I discussed cream of coconut. Alan made this. Cream of coconut is something you can get in the store, but it's full of sugar, very, very high carb. Alan made this by taking coconut cream, which doesn't have added sugar, and taking equal parts of coconut cream and artificial sweetener. In this case, he used allulose, but you can use Splenda, and a pinch of salt. And you heat that on the stove at very low heat, just long enough to get the sugar to absorb into the coconut cream, and then you get cream of coconut. So it's 1/2 ounce of this. And then it's supposed to have coconut bitters. Alan didn't have that, but he did have grapefruit bitters, which you can kind of use. So we'll go very light. It's supposed to be 2 dashes, but well, it's a little more. The grapefruit bitters is supposed to be somewhat similar, but it's not a perfect substitute. But you already have the cucumbers in there, so you're going to get plenty of cucumber flavor. So, given all that, we shake this. And it's supposed to be double strained, but it doesn't bother me if a little bit of cucumber gets into the drink. So we'll just regular strain. Then we will add some ice. And then it says to garnish with a cucumber ribbon, but I'm just going to do a cucumber slice. And a flower. These are dried flowers. They're supposed to be edible. So we'll just see if we can get one with a, well, there are no stems on these, so we'll just set flower right in there. And that is a cucumber coconut cooler. Very good. The cream of coconut's not overly sweet. The bitters is a little bit bitter. I would actually maybe add a little bit of simple syrup to that to sweeten it up a little bit, but it's pretty good as it is. So try that and enjoy. We'll come back in a moment after I clean up the mess and do a second cocktail. So you can't have a 4th of July without firecrackers. And the next cocktail is called Firecracker. This calls for cayenne pepper to be put on the drink, but and I'll do that. But I thought I would use this chili lime around the rim of the glass. So this does use lime juice, so let's take a little bit of lime juice. And just give a little extra firecracker color to the rim. So we will take do this as in a mixing glass, and set the ice out first, because you're first supposed to muddle watermelon, and you're supposed to use 2 1-inch cubes of watermelon. And we'll get something about equivalent. That's about, these are smaller, but that should give you about the same amount. And watermelon is definitely a great fruit for 4th of July. Well, I'm going to eat some anyway. So let's muddle the watermelon. Then we will add the remaining ingredients, which include, we'll add the ice back in. So this will take 1.5 ounces of aged rum. This is a dark rum. ½ ounce of triple sec. Now, Alan makes his own orange liqueur because the triple sec and others have a lot of sugar. So that's ½ ounce. So this is made with artificial sugar. Lime juice. I may have to squeeze some more before we finish. Half ounce of simple syrup. And this simple syrup is also made with artificial sweetener. And a 1/6 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So we'll do what we can, get as close as possible. We will stir this. The instructions have you in a mixing glass and then they say shake it, but you have to be in a shaker to do that. So we will give it a really good stir. Try to agitate it because you really want to, with shaking, you get more agitation. So I would suggest to do the muddling in a shaker, not in a mixing glass. And then we strain that into the glass. And we will garnish that with a lime wheel. And that is the firecracker. Definitely the cayenne pepper gives it a little bit of heat. If you can do that, not have a problem, definitely do that. Back off on the cayenne pepper if you don't like the heat, but it's a really good drink. It is making me choke a little bit on the heat, but if you can stand the heat, definitely do this. Again, I would back off of cayenne pepper a little bit because it is a little bit hotter than I expected, but it is really, really good. So we will clean this up and get ready for the next cocktail, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, the next drink we're going to make is called Smoked Independence. This, we are going back to our American First bourbon, and in a shaker we are going to combine 1.5 ounces of bourbon, half ounce of pineapple rum. Now, there's a few pineapple rums out there, but if you get this brand pineapple rum, you will not be disappointed. This has a very good taste and makes some very good cocktails. Again, I'm not here advertising brands. Plantation is what it used to be. They've changed their name to Plant Array, but it's the same product and something I think that everybody should have in their cupboard. So there's a half ounce of this. Three-quarters, hopefully I'm going to have 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. Three-quarters of an ounce of simple syrup. Again, this is simple syrup with artificial sweetener, but you can make your own. Simple syrups. It is simple. It's even parts of water and sugar, or you can make a heavy simple syrup, which is 1.5 to up to 2 times the sugar. That's actually shelf stable, but when you're using artificial sugar, I don't know if it's still shelf stable, and it separates a little bit, but it's a 1-to-1 simple syrup is what we've got here. And a bar spoon of pomegranate molasses. Don't have that, but grenadine is probably going to be pretty close. Grenadine is made from pomegranate juice. And this grenadine is made with artificial sweetener as well. So it's going to have very low carb. Okay, so add all that, shake, and strain into a rocks glass over ice. We will put the ice in afterwards so that we see how much we need. We'll keep the ice that was in there. You shouldn't do that. It melts quickly, but and add a little more ice. And we will garnish again with a lime roll. And there we have smoked Independence. That is really, really good. I wonder what that would taste like if we actually used a cocktail smoker on that. That might be good too. But otherwise, this is very good. So, give me a minute and I will clean up and get ready for the final cocktail for this 4th of July 250th anniversary of the United States set of cocktails. So now we will do a final cocktail for this 250th anniversary of the United States celebration. And this one is called a Liberty Sour. In a cocktail shaker, we will put 1.5 ounces of good American bourbon, half an ounce of blue curacao. Blue curacao is the same as orange curacao or orange liqueur, except that it has blue dye in it. And this was what Alan made with artificial sweetener again in the past. He has a video on that. Half ounce of that. Now I should have mentioned this blue curacao is to give it a blue tint, and this is something that is intended to have a signature navy color, and that is it's a variation of a whiskey sour, and it's something that celebrates the water and the Navy and all of the naval battles that we had all the way from the beginning of this country until now. So after that, 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup, and the simple syrup again is sugar-free, but you can use regular simple syrup if that's what you wish. A lot of these syrups, like the simple syrup, especially an early video that Alan did, shows how to make those, but it's simple. It's same amount of water as artificial sweetener or sugar if you're making it as regular simple syrup. And you heat that over the stove, not hot, not too hot, just enough to get the sugar to dissolve. The next thing is 3/4 ounce of lemon juice. Settling a little bit. And it's supposed to use egg whites, which is how you make a sour. But this fee foam works really well. So we want to add this in there to help it foam. And it probably says on here how much to use. So I don't know, I didn't really say how much to use, but use a few shakes of Fee Foam or Aquafaba, or you can use an egg white to do that as well. I don't necessarily want to waste an egg, but that's why a Fee Foam is a very good thing to have. That's from Fee Brothers. And that is supposed to be a dry shake. You don't want the ice in there for the first shake. See, and that allows it to foam up. Then you add the ice in there and shake that to chill. Then we will strain that. Unfortunately, the ice was a little melted and it caused most of the foam to go away, but there's still a little bit of foam on that. And you're supposed to use 5 drops of crude bitters. Don't have those, but half as much aromatic bitters and half as much of lavender bitters should do the trick. And then the other half is the aromatic bitters. And then from that we will add lemon wheel for garnish. And a cherry. And we will actually use a little bit more fancy cherry. We get a skewer for that. So we will skewer one of these Peninsula Premiums, because after all, this is our final cocktail, and we want a great cherry in that. And there we have the Liberty Sour. Very good, very different. So this is another one I think that you'll enjoy. Try each of these for your 4th of July, and come back next time and see what Alan has in store for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the description. All the recipes are in the description. Definitely tell your friends about this. Share this with them. Subscribe if you haven't already. Help bring up the number of people that are subscribers, so that YouTube will let Alan do some additional things, and help him to build this community to help people learn how to make great cocktails without all the sugars, and also to check out all the reviews he's done on various alcohols. And next year, I hopefully will come back and join you with some more Patriotic cocktails for the 4th of July celebration. See you next time, and don't forget to check out Alan's links for his YouTube and his Facebook, and help him to build a community. Have a great time with family and friends on the 4th of July, and celebrate the 250th anniversary of the founding of the great nation, the United States of America.